I'll second it. Motion by Mr. Robertson, second by Mayor Holland. Any comment?
Begrudgingly, we move forward with this process. I don't like the process. I don't like the fact that we can't do anything with the FEMA dollars and at least relieve part of that burden. So, but that's where we're at right now, so.
I do have a question. If they don't spend the contingency money, we're assessing what was in there. How does that change?
Won't we be assessing off actual costs?
Have to assess our budget costs.
Okay, so we're not assessing this.
I don't believe so. Is
Yeah,
that-
This is what's going in, because it has to be in by the end of this month.
I thought he was giving us the final,
Yeah.
it's the whole deal with doing this estimated thing from the get-go. You know,
But we won't be done with the project until spring.
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
Now, the last project, we were just right on. I mean, there were things that came up and cost more money, and we did have to eat up the contingency, but they came under on their other stuff, and, you know.
our sense is that this project will be less than what he said it was going to be, because
Well,
the bid came in so much lower.
And he admitted the contingencies they didn't
Yeah.
need. They didn't run into anything.
Part of the issue with having the lower bid is they didn't do the job as fast as we wanted them to. That was the trade-off.
But the dollar amounts were adjusted, you know, from his original.
Yep.
They were adjusted to be more true to the bid price.
Except for the contingency and whatever the other.
And that was, that probably was factored into the
was
original
factored
too.
into the original.
Any more comment?
We don't even have a ballpark on
Well, he
what
had
the
the number,
reduction will be?
He had the number of 160,000, didn't he say?
That was the
He had a number
total.
of other contingencies.
The contingency
Where-
and, I don't
And
remember.
the the engineering costs. You know, and those are all things that at the outset of the project, council needs to fully understand. I know we briefed it, but, you know, folks need to capture that information and maybe have a little cheat sheet or something in front of you so you can refer to it from time to time.
I mean, his
What-
total engineering.
What his costs are,
It's
based-
130,000 or.
based on the percentage of what
Right,
the total
understand.
cost was.
But that's in that contingency?
No,
No.
there's a contingency, there's engineering costs.
That's what you're talking about.
Right.
But there's two things on there that he said, it was contingency and something else.
Overhead.
Overhead, is that what it was?
Overrun.
estimated overhead and contingency.
Overhead and
Overhead
contingency.
and contingency, what's the overhead?
Sometimes there's other administrative costs, sometimes there's legal fees, there's filing fees, there's easement paperwork, there's things that we didn't anticipate having to do, and that would be covered under there.
But the chances are, we're not gonna pay that full amount,
Correct.
so how do we handle the difference? If we have to set the levies before the end of the month.
Right.
Which is 5 days. How are we gonna handle it?
The savings generally go to the city.
Goes back to the overall project.
It's the same way that all the other projects are done.
If there is
That's the
money,
policy.
if there's money that's left over, that stays in the pot along with our early assessment payments, and then that stays in that debt service fund, so that when it's time to
You can retire it.
call
early.
those bonds, you might be able to do it early with cash that you got.
And that's a savings to everyone in the community.
Right. How much was the bond? $1,000,001?
1088. Built that one,
It had to be more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that.
We
because
bonded for the estimated. Any other questions?
No, but we bonded for more than it cost. So we will have excess. Okay.
Which is preferable to the other way.
Yeah, which goes into the sinking fund.
I guess the only question I have is what has surprised everybody? There seems to be this angst about following through and finishing this project. What's happened that's turned you sour? I hear what you're saying, that no one's getting anything that they didn't have before,
Yeah.
except for this. The engineer didn't make a compelling case to you that the sewer lines were in trouble, the water mains and the street, that all those things needed to be repaired?
But I don't think that what they call benefited properties benefited. They had water and sewer before, and a street before the project started. But I understand the process. I understand if you're gonna issue utility bonds, they have to be with assessments. And I understand it, and that's why I voted against it when they voted to issue the bond. I don't like the process. But it has to pass.
Anybody else?
And for me, I guess it's not that it's a surprise. We all knew that there was going to be assessments. I just really struggle with the fact that those people that were, some of them hit hardest by the flood, are now going to be assessed and not enjoy any of the benefits of the FEMA dollars coming back.
Right.
That's what I have trouble swallowing.
And isn't there a general feeling also that the way the money came back anyway went to, nothing really seemed to go to directly help homeowners?
No.
Right. So, you know, if there was some way, and there's obviously not, I guess, but if there was some way that 70% of that dollar came back, went to the city, and the 30%, whatever we levied, went to them to ease that burden.
Well, if the FEMA dollars can't go to individuals, then we
I
can't do anything about
I
it.
understand that we're benefiting the overall city, but we're impacting, and I'm going to be one of those on the Highway 43 project personally. So,
Well, we've done two big projects now, and there's many people that are going to be paying higher taxes on the levy that live in Upper Brooklyn, perhaps, or Hillcrest Drive, and, you know, they're not having any direct benefit other than.
My time will come. I imagine.
Yes, yes, your time will come. That's just it. Everybody gets their due, you know, everybody's gonna be improved at one point.
Well, I think I've said my piece.
The only other thing that I would add is, you know, my travels in the state, a 70-30 assessment policy, I know everything's relative and it's still a lot of money. That's a lot different than what most of the cities that I've worked in. They're a lot higher, the resident pays a lot more.
What did Stewartville end up with?
I don't know what the local ones are down here, but in
Well,
other parts of
Stewartville,
the
they went
state.
to court over theirs. People lost. I won't call the questions, because we're done.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you. Let's move on to 8D, consideration of adoption of resolution 2011-056, adopting the resolution certifying the past due billings for collection with the 2012 property taxes, as discussed earlier at the public hearing. See attached resolution.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Bunky. Any comment?
is there anything that needs to be put into that motion different because of that partial one that Kathy's dealing with?
I have sent a form to the gentleman to sign, to agree that he's gonna make these payments, and if he doesn't make the payment, then it gets put on